Hey guys, I was kicked off the air. Hey guys, I was kicked off the air. Hold on 1 second. I'm trying to flip this over back around. I was kicked off the air, guys. Sorry. Um, Trying to get this back up here. Yeah, I was. Yeah, I was kicked off the air. Um, Literally, I couldn't go into any of my systems. Finally, my best friend sent me a message, and I was able to get on that. But even when I tried to go back into everything I tried to do, it just like was it kept on closing. Everything was closing on me on purpose. Like every time I went into something, it literally by itself closed down, closed down, closed down, and I was like, no. Um, Hold on. Well, the good news is I'll give it a moment to see if I can get some of these others that were on here back. I don't know. Does it show that I'm live? Can you guys verify that if I'm live? Like, I mean, you're on, but I mean, does it? If you go to the Lion page, is it on there? Let me just look on here. I don't know how this works when you get booted and all this stuff. Let's see if I can pull it up. Um, yeah, so, yeah. Okay, we're good. We're back. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. So we're still episode 4. This is just for, because I also load them on YouTube when it's done. So, cool. We're live. All right, let's get back to where we were. Let me take a sip. That sucked. All right. So we were talking about the Soltraxi, the flagship, and then they sent an image. Right before I was going to show you this image, that's when they kicked us off. So the image that was sent, it's processing, so I haven't received it back. I haven't received it, it just happened last night. So, but I do have it on my, I have the image, and I'll share it with you. So this image, I don't know if you can see, is out a port window of the Soltraxi. And if you look closely, you can see the United States last night. You can see North Carolina, the coast. You can see in the middle, looks like a speck of light. That's actually Bermuda. You can see the rainbow signature. The Soltraxi gives off a rainbow signature with a light. But that's actually the porthole window on the Soltraxi. Do I know who shut it down? No, I do not know who shut it down. I'm assuming powers that be that don't want me to share the information. That's the only thing. It's either Facebook censoring or it's. I mean, I get contact, so I've proven when we go into old contact, I can prove like Russians, Israeli, American, like intelligence. They know I'm getting contact. Like I've gotten messages before, and we can go into that another time. But anyway, so that's the image of what I received. Isn't that cool? Like you can actually see like the United States, and you see the lights, and so they were flying over last night. It was a full moon too, so the moon was out, and I'll go into that. So right before I showed you that image, that's when I was shut off the air. But that's so that was the image. So that's really cool, right? So Soltraxi, they're showing like, hey, I'm here. right over, you know, because there's a base by Bermuda under the ocean for thousands of years. And they're flying over. So then this is what I received the message at 9:36. That was that image. And then I said, where are you? And what am I looking at? Even though I know, but I just want them to confirm and say, I said, how large is the Soltraxi? They responded at 9:53 p.m. 283,487 cubic meters of earth feet. And the only way I could break that down, because I'm not a math whiz. If my house is 2,100 square feet, and say it's 1150 a level, a 2-story house, if it was the width, it's not, but imagine if it was the width of my one floor of my home, it'd be like over 260 something stories long or tall. So it's a huge flagship that could definitely hold other ships in it. And that was my question I have, one of my questions next. So I said, thank you for answering so quickly, because it was with literally minutes. I said, how many races on board? So I always ask all kinds of questions. Whatever comes to my mind, I don't premeditate. I just ask. I just say it. So they responded back at 10:03. So within 10 minutes, O most mighty, the nation, the protection of the country of peril, sent for some time, capital H-O-R, Hor. So this guy, this H-O-R, Hor, I received like a year or two ago that until the time is ready for me to have I have a fleet up there from Lyra, that the Royal Fleet, this is what they say, that when the time is right, I'll have that fleet under my command. This guy is in my stead or my place, taking care of the fleet until the time is right for me to be ready. And I guess I'm in training in a sense. They have me learning Latin. They're constantly educating me on being tested from the dark side. Dark side, I'm talking reptilians, insectoids, Pleiadians. And there are bad and good in each race too, by the way. So I'm getting groomed to be the level to where I oversee this fleet. Well, Hor, he's been watching the fleet. He's been back. So now they're with the Soltraxi. So the Soltraxi's cruising above the earth last night. All right. The fleet of 18. So there's 18 ships in my fleet. They're cruising all together. And so I said to them, I was threatened recently on this line from ones whom I say may be reptilians. That's that image I showed you. Can you confirm any information? And does the Soltraxi hold other ships in it? So I asked this, because it makes sense. It's so large. The fleet could probably park on that thing. They responded literally 7 minutes later. They said, of kings against you and with your brothers would be in grave danger. The current risk is dealt with. Do not be afraid. So they're saying, basically, without us, you'd be in some deep, deep trouble, in grave danger, like your life depended on it. But the current risk has been dealt with. So they must have took the reptilian out. Or whatever our fleet or whatever they were doing, our guys came, took them out, or dealt with. They said is dealt with. And in Lyran terms, you see what they did to the Cremona base. The colony. I mean, there's a Grand Canyon now on that moon. And do not be afraid. So don't worry about that. Focus on what you're supposed to be doing, because we've already handled that guy. So that was actually a big sign of relief. So that was pretty cool. I said, they said they will end my life in person, face to face. Thank you for your reassurance. Is there any technology to aid me through these dark times? I have been learning Latin, the language. I hope to be well versed in the language soon enough. And they responded back within 6 minutes, and they said, the code is the gift of high blood brother. With your own eyes and the ears of the problems only, when it becomes a special gift from the gods, let him go. The only thing I could get out of that was that you see behind me right here, that's actually Lyranese. That's actually code I can't break yet. And they sent that to me last year, and they told me to be able to decipher that, but I haven't yet. But I think that's one of my gifts. Like, I've had a few gifts sent to me because people ask, oh, did they give you any? No, they haven't given me anything other than, besides the knowledge and wisdom of like different, education. Some is deception, some is true. But then I have blueprints for things I've been sent. I have language. So that may be like it says, the code is the gift. That code is the gift of high blood brother. So the high blood brother up in heaven, the heavens, with your own eyes, so when you can see, and the ears of the problems, and when you can hear, and when you can, it probably activates at the right time when I'm supposed to, just like the fleet, I'm supposed to do that in the future. So I changed the subject a little bit. I said, what is your duties on the Soltraxi? And can you explain mana to me? Because I know a little bit about it was just an off thing. Oh, hey guys, I'm transparent and honest on here. If it enters my mind, first off, anything you say, anything you think, anything you see is known anyways out there. So, like, I have random things that pop in my mind, so I'm just going to ask them. So I asked that. And then they responded at 10:33 last night, and they said, to protect 12, so they're here to protect 12, and the two most powerful men in royal aid, kings, foreign search space of time, as well as all of the code violations were also caught, 11 and 12.5. So there's 12 on the planet that they're here to protect. And then there's 2, I'm assuming, since I've been told I'm a prince and my brother is a prince, we're the 2 most powerful men in the royal aid of kings, from the kings of light, from Lyra. So they're here to protect us and the 12. And they're also recording the violations of the codes, which I don't know what 11 and 12.5 is. What codes are those? I don't know. We'll find out, hopefully. I said, what are the code violations? Who are the other 12? What is 11 and 12.5? I await your response. Thank you. And they responded at 11:21 p.m. The gift travel brother has seen the ship, and we and our moon. So my brother, I was born in 77. 77. My brother, he's not my blood brother, but he lived down the street from me, and we became best friends our whole lives, and we had these weird experiences together. He also gets contact. He's the only other person I know that gets contact like how I get contact, but not on my level. We each have weird things. One of his gifts is he can like astro travel, like where he can, in like a dreamlike status, kind of like not spy, that's a bad word, like venture out, but is aware that he's dreaming and can see things. And we used to mess around like this as kids. He used to, know things that he shouldn't know, only because we didn't understand what was happening. We didn't have contact then. We had these weird experiences, but that's a whole nother show. So what they're saying is the gift, which is his ability to do this, Travel Brother has seen the ship. He's seen it, and them and the moon, and he's been mentioned before for doing this, especially if I'm in trouble. If I can't reach out and get a response, he'll literally be able to, when we go to bed, be able to remote viewing. That's in a sense it's remote viewing, but it's astro where he's able to interact. Remote viewing is where you're able to see things from afar and there's no time reference, whereas astro, you're literally going there and in the real time able to interact in a limited capacity. And they've told him, and I've received the messages, that it is very dangerous to do that. And to be able to have that gift and on that degree is amazing, but it's also very dangerous and it's very bad. So that's what they said. All right. So I responded, what is the name of the moon? Can the Soltraxi go under the ocean to the base? Because there's a base off of Bermuda for thousands of years. I was not aware about what was about to happen next. I said, do you have gardens on the flagship Soltraxi? I'm curious. Yeah, because I know in Lyra, there's no money. It's a barter system with other worlds, and food is what they barter. So then I didn't receive a response. So at 11:08, this morning, I said, are you still there? So nothing, right? And then at 11:14, they responded, we are in the proximity to the planet Earth, the moon base. So I'm like, the moon base? So I know about the base off of Bermuda, and there was a full moon last night, and maybe that's why, because they've told me in the past, based upon intervals of the sun and other factors of communications, and they sent me an image that they were flying right over us in space. So the moon was out. So we have a moon base there. I was not aware of a moon base. So they said we are in proximity to the planet, which we could definitely see in that image, and Earth, the moon base. Okay. So I said, may I see the moon base? Looks like. Fascinating. Can I see what the base looks like? That's fascinating. Thank you for your quick reply. Peace be with you all. Talk to you soon. And they responded, 7 of which have taken a colony was led out to clone MGC. Capital M, capital G, capital C. And I was told that's like measurement, a form of measurement. So 7 of which have taken a colony was led out to clone MGC. And then the next, that was at 12:31 today, and at 12:34 they sent another message that said, there is no safe in the midst of the air. So there is no safe. So you're not safe in the midst of the air. And as a discontinued for that, he continueth. So that's a little confusing. And I'm still trying to understand that last part. I didn't know because when I asked about the moon, can you give me an image of the moon base? Maybe the air or the because there's not really an atmosphere on the moon. Or if they're talking about the air here and they would be seen with that many ships. I don't know, but that's what they said. They said there is no safe in the midst of the air. And as a discontinued for that, he continueth. So then I asked, what does MGC mean? May I see inside the base? How large is the moon base? I await your response. Thank you. And that is the update as of right now, I have not received, let me just check, I have not received any other contact. And that's where we're at. So that was a crazy week and last 24 hours. I think the image out of the Soltraxi, out of that porthole window, I think that's so awesome. I can't wait to get that in so I can add that too. Because if you actually look around, I have images all over the place. And these are all images from Contact that I've been sent over the years. So there's a lot of stuff. Very cool, very cool. I'm sorry about the interruption I did receive from, I got booted off of Facebook. Right when I was going to share that image of the Soltraxi's porthole, then boom, everything, and it wouldn't let me back in anything. I went on everything, and then so it took about 5. Maybe it was just a coincidence, but I have a journal for that. That's a coincidence box, because I can't. It's not direct contact or anything. I didn't get a cryptic intelligence message with it, like shut up or something bad may happen to you. VJ says, I'm guessing that the air would be our atmosphere because there is no other body with air close by. Now, I agree with you. I have read some information. I mean, I read everybody's stuff, like I told you, because I'm trying to find these 12 others or someone who has had similar of what we receive. There are many bases on the moon. I knew that, by many different races. I didn't know the Lyrans had a base themselves. I've heard whimsicals of the moon, not in all places, but in certain places, that there was some kind, like in deep craters or inside the moon, where there's like very, very poor atmospheric conditions, which tells you that there is some sort of an atmosphere or fog that has been observed in different things. So I was kind of, since we've been talking about the moon so much in the last 24 hours with Contact, and knowing that there's a moon base, I was thinking maybe because I was asking for an image of the base, that there wasn't the right conditions, unless I guess they went out in a craft and took an image, because they've done that before. But maybe it also is the Earth. Maybe you're right, VJ. Maybe it's the conditions maybe on the Earth, because of the threats and different races, that like they couldn't come low enough without. I mean, the Soltraxi's that large. Was it 100? Well, how many cubic square? It was 100, 200 something thousand cubic square feet. That would be a very large ship. That would be quite noticed, unless it was cloaked, or if the Lyrans have been in communications with our government, because there is a secret space program. There are terrestrial black budgets, and the rockets from von Braun from World War II and the SS that in Operation Paperclip that were brought over, and all that stuff was a front, because all the real technologies were worked on clandestine in SSPs and SAPs, which are acknowledged or unacknowledged secret budgeted black projects. The navies had a fleet in space. Like, you think the Space Force and Trump, all this new stuff like this in the Air Force, that they've been messing around with this stuff for decades and decades and decades. So this is there. Whatever you think they're 100 years ahead of what technology-wise. They just drib and drab it out to us. VJ also says, or could be also interference from all of our technology, maybe. Yeah, and it could be. all I can do is document, you know, I have enough evidence about reptilians, right? But until I actually get contact or I can confirm, then I can say that race is confirmed or that technology is confirmed. Just like the FTLP, the faster than light particle accelerator. That's a confirmed technology from the Lyrans and the Syrians. Doug says, so just did little Googling, and a football field is 4,800 cubic feet. Laugh out loud. Good God. 200,000? Yeah, it was like, let me pull up that number. It was 200 and, yeah, it's like a Star Destroyer, or it's like from Star Wars. Like, it's huge. You imagine what they could hold on there? That's why I asked, is there gardens? You know, what do you have on there? So it was 283,487 cubic meters of Earth feet. Cubic meter, isn't a meter 3 feet? I didn't even think about that too. Cubic meters of Earth feet. So a meter's 3 feet. So it's 283,487 times 3 would be the cubic feet, wouldn't it? I'm not a mathematician, but it's, so you have 283,487 cubic meters of Earth feet. A meter is 3 feet, right? Yeah, 3 feet. So 3 times 283,487 is what? Who's got a calculator? Let me see if I can pull up my phone. That's, let me calculate this for a second. So, I mean, who gets this kind of stuff? So we'll see. And they have it right down. That's like they have it in their, oh yeah, like down to the meter. 850,000 cubic feet. 850. That's like it's like a building, a skyscraper flying. That's the flagship. And that's not including the fleet of 18, which is my fleet that HOR, he's handling until I get up. So the flagship is that big. How many beings, how many individuals are on that flagship? I don't know. I don't know how many ships are on it. I know it's not built for war, because we've had this. This is not the first time I've had communications with the Soltraxi. The Soltraxi was the one that was coming for when I was supposed to go to Lyra over the last summer, and they were sending, and they told me it wasn't the Soltraxi coming to the surface when I was supposed to go off the coast of Bermuda. The ship, they said it in the writing. It said there isn't room for more than one. Like, there isn't. So that's like a drop ship from the Soltraxi. Yeah, and that's right, VJ. So that's that's cubic feet. So there's depth and volume in a cubic foot. So it's not just a foot. So you're talking about a cubic foot. So what was that? 850,000 cubic feet. That's pretty intense. That's like a super Star Destroyer. What would that be, Doug? What's a Star Destroyer? So because you picture Star Wars. So its volume we're speaking of, yeah. So that's not including the volume. So you're just thinking of the foot. So 850,000. But imagine the cubic foot is the volume of a cubic foot. So it's not just 1 foot. It's a cubic foot. That's pretty. That's massive. That's. Here's the good news. The reptilian guy, this guy who was going to kill me in person. Oh, your time will be short when I see you, face to face. Well, not trying to be cocky or anything, but I'm just so glad that problem has been taken care of. So, nice eyes, by the way. What the heck happened to this guy's eyes? What's that mark? And and that's the thing, I get so much contact, I haven't been able to do research. That looks familiar to me, that mark, that symbology and on the forehead. So, of course, he's of the dark side. He's a reptilian. So that's one, two, that's three. That's a six-sided. Um, and then with the W, I'm gonna have to research that. Um, yeah, that dude's time is up. He is expired, and unfortunately, not with him, but with others. Like, I always feel bad for my guy, the Eben, who was taken out, who gave me technology. The guy right up, if you see him in the top left corner, and I'll actually I'll show you a closer up picture of him. He's an Eben. He's not a gray or anything. He was a good guy. He's just trying to help, but I think he was eliminated for helping. There's good and bad in every race, you know. Let me pull him up. That guy, I liked him. I don't know. I don't judge you based on the way you look, unless you look like that reptilian that looks, and you threaten me. But this guy, he's really cool. But yeah, he gave me some technology, but he was eliminated. One of the three factions under the Lyran command are these guys. I don't know. I showed you on a different episode. That, if you look, that's half cat, half humanoid. You can see the mouth gaping open with the teeth. He's actually a good guy. So they're called the Galvarics. And I've read in, you know, all my stuff. I mean, like, I get everybody's books. Everybody's. No one's ever mentioned the Galvarics. Now, they mention, like, half cat, half humanoid, but they don't mention the name. So I've got a bunch of races that have never been identified, like amphibious and the K-log system. I actually have a book. This is my Black Ledger. And in the ledger, I put in keywords for things that you're just not going to find anywhere that I've received. I'm trying to... I had the camera flipped around, but once I got knocked off the air, for whatever reason, I can't fix how that... so you could read it. But, yeah, the K-log system is a water system. It's an amphibious race that lives there. I don't know if they're good or bad, but I have a wall over there. So this is how much contact I get. So I have a wall dedicated to bad guys. I have a wall dedicated to good guys. I have a wall dedicated to, like, different planets and moons and systems, and I have a technology. So it sounds crazy, but yeah, there's a lot of good, there's a lot of bad. The Galactic Federation of Light is real. Oh wait, what does this say? Isn't that the same symbol that's tattooed on the evil version of your cheeks? No. So yeah, there is one of me that is bad. Oh, I can pull it up right here. Those have like bat wings and like they look really bad. I'll pull it up here. There is a clone of me that they have out there. If you actually look at the cheeks and the chin, they almost look like wings and it's weird symbology, right? Well, that's dark side. So it's the cloudy-eyed ones. These guys work with the reptilians too. So 24 by 30 by 36 room is meters equals to 960 cubic meters, still on the math. So 885 rooms that size is whatever shape the ship is that we're talking about. Yeah. So that's huge. That's a huge ship. Looks like a scorpion. Yeah, it does look like a scorpion. Here's what I say. Here's what blows my mind. Because I don't really get like, I don't know, I don't get too shocked. But this is the Milky Way Andromeda we're talking about. There are trillions of galaxies out there. What else is out there that we know? Like blah blah. Like there's some kind of weird thing that's just called blah blah, and it just how many how many races are there? How many? It's not just sides of good and bad too, because you have ones like the insectoids work. They're interested in their own thing and colonizing, but they kind of lean towards the reptilian and work with them sometimes, and some others. But like, what kind of peaceful races are out there? What kind of weird things that just haven't been discovered yet? It is literally like Star Trek, like where things that have not been discovered or haven't gotten to the technological era of in their civilization, or even maybe they're not even civilized yet. Maybe they're not like anything. Everything looks the way it does on Earth is because of our environment. So just like there are some planets out there that rain iron or diamonds, and everything looks and adapts or is based upon its environment. So everything's a little different. So like Syrians are supposed to be blue. The Galverics are half cat, half humanoid. I would imagine if they can move faster than light, then they should be able to manipulate space enough to have very large ships close enough to be a very short trip for them, but we would never see it. And that's another thing. See, is Bobby brought up a good point. Everyone's technology is a little bit different, but the same. So there's these light ships and light warships, and there's flagships, and there's all these technologies. There's the FTLP, the faster than light particle accelerator. There are jump gates, wormholes. They can see. Some races are able to see limited futures. Some are able to look in the past. Some are in the present and the now. And then there's windows that open and close of communications. So it's like a soup or a cauldron of different things that are happening and interaction. And there's war. So you have sides and races and systems fighting. But the main theme is most of the races confirm there is a king of kings. Some